Alright, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. It's out. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't, but this is a spoiler talk video. I'm going to talk about spoilers, so that's a spoiler warning for you. If you haven't seen the movie, you might not want to watch this, or you haven't seen the movie, you don't care to, but you want to hear about spoilers, which I see that happening more and more in the comment section. Hey, to you, welcome as well. Also, as this is a spoiler talk video, I'm not going to talk about everything in the movie, just some points that I wanted to make, some points that have to do with how I see the movie, and some problems I had with the movie that were too spoilerish for the spoiler-free review. Not gonna be a play-by-play, as much as we might want to hear me be like, oh yeah, and Bill Murray talks with Michelle Pfeiffer, and I guess they had a relationship in the quantum realm. It's one scene, it doesn't matter, so we move on. Point is my dogs bark. Hey, pups, stop. Point is, the funny thing about the conversation about this movie, it's generally been the same. Positive review, negative review, all say the same thing. Jonathan Majors?
Very shagadelic, baby, yeah!
The rest of the movie?
Having said that, I do have some thoughts.
How that hits, whether or not that means positive or negative, depends on the individual. It's kind of a funny thing to me. So in doing a spoiler talk, do we want to do the Sour Patch Kid thing? You know, first I'm sour, then I'm sweet. What do you want first, the good news or the bad? I guess I'll do the good first. That would be Kang. I just love Jonathan Majors in the movie as Kang. I thought he was a great villain. Charismatic, scary at times. So in this movie, I was surprised we actually get the Kang backstory, or at least backstory enough to show why he's the big bad in the quantum realm and the quantum universe. And don't take a shot every time I say Kang in this video. I don't want you to die. Kang crashes in the quantum realm on his ship, and Michelle Pfeiffer and him, they all work to try to get the ship up and running again. She does the thing, the movie does the thing where she touches the quantum core, the power source, and gets all these visions. Because I guess that's how it works. I mean, I've seen Smallville do that. That was fine. I don't know. What a 90s plot point. But anyhow, she gets visions. She's like, oh, you're super bad. I'm going to make your core grow and you can't get out of here. So Kang's just stuck there, and it's kind of cool that he made his prison, his fortress, his empire. So now that the whole Ant fam is there, now Kang cares. Scott Lang floating around for a few hours, or a few years to us, after the second Ant-Man movie. And before Endgame, he was like, I don't care. Now that they're all here, I do care. So now we know what we're up against, what the Ant fam is up against in this world, in this quantum realm. Kang is down there. He needs their help to get out. And so now that's what I liked about Kang. He comes down, has a conversation with them, and he's like, you help me, or I'm gonna kill her in front of you, and I'm gonna make you relive that shit over and over and over again. I like me a good villain with some solid threats. More importantly, a good villain with solid threats that you know he will follow through with. He's not messing around. Also enjoyed the fact that he seemed magical. You know, it's like he had these powers and it seems like magic, but it's all technology. His tech is so advanced, it looks like magic. Even in an MCU world where we feel like we've seen it all. Took me back to the first Thor movie where you're like, oh, they're not magical gods, they're just really technologically powerful. I like that. Then the MCU adopted magic, so we've seen a lot of magic since then. It was cool to see tech that's so advanced, it feels like magic. We've seen some advanced tech in the MCU, but it still felt like advanced tech. It was something else entirely for me. I enjoyed the fact that it felt like that. Also, this is a conqueror who will actually do his own dirty work. He doesn't, not like he has minions, but he doesn't solely rely on the minions. When the shit was going down, when all the big battle was happening, he goes down there and starts shooting fist lasers. He, like Thanos, was there to do it himself. I respect a villain and a conqueror who will do that. Jumping forward a bit, but again, like I said, this isn't a play-by-play, but this movie came dangerously close to making a call, making a leap that I felt was impossible for the MCU, and that's if Kang actually killed Scott Lang. I know, you don't like hearing that. I mean, I like Scott. We all like Scott. He's the everyday guy who became a superhero. Who doesn't like Scott? However, what I love more is a good tragedy and a good death. That's really what we want for our heroes. That's all any of us can really hope for. Actually, most of us are going to die in our own shit and piss in our bed. It's going to be stupid. So in a world where we accept that, all we want for our heroes is them to go out like a badass. A couple of them have gotten that opportunity, but really nonsense. So when Kang was handing Scott's fucking ass to him, which they showed in one of the trailers, I guess, that was weird. They usually have a rule like, oh, if it's in a trailer, it's free game to show and to review. And I was like, not that. That's Why did they show that? That line that he has, that again is also in the trailer where he was like, I don't have to win. We just both have to lose. He's like saying he's all bleeding, his ass is beat. And I was like, he might actually die. It was actually a pretty thrilling feeling. And then it didn't happen and he beats Kang and, well, he gets to go home. And I was like, MCU safe zone every time. Sorry, that bothers me. It would have been so badass for him to go out protecting his family. That's all the dude wants to do, really. There is a compelling family story in here that's buried under mountains of CGI bullshit that's just there to shatter and overwhelm your synapses. But it is there. It's just, it doesn't hit the point home. It's that Scott is just trying to protect his family. It's like Scott's the embodiment of that guy from the movie The Core. Don't you laugh at my guilty pleasures. You stop. You know, that dude who's like, we're trying to save the world. That's impossible. I'm just trying to save 3. This guy is just there to save his family. You keep it simple like that, and it's all in perspective, and you will fight the good fight, and you will go out if you have to go out. I always loved that line from that movie, and it's funny that The Core hammered that point home better than Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I think it would have been fulfilling if he had died for his family. Look, I'm a dark son of a bitch. I just like shit like that. I will say, as much as I liked Kang in this movie, when I had time to really think about it and think about the makeup of the entire film and what it's leading to, and you know, you have this post-credit scene with multiple Kangs, like an auditorium full of Kangs and a council full of Kangs. And when I think about that, I'm like, well, I don't care about those Kangs. I care about this guy in this movie. And I left the movie theater and did my review thinking, yeah, this is the guy. This is the guy we're going to see again. That's not necessarily guaranteed. I suppose it's a big unknown to even talk about. We don't know exactly where this is all going to go. Granted, there was a movie called Kang Dynasty. Maybe that was the big auditorium full of Kangs. But I'm kind of afraid that they're going to do a thing where it's like, oh, hey, this is the new Kang in this movie. And well, I mean, you got to take him out. All right, Kang Dynasty has another Kang. In a world where this is the big Kang is on the big screen for the first time. He's come to play. He's come to make shit happen. I'm now attached to that Kang, and I want the guy in this movie to be the Kang we have to deal with, or they have to deal with going forward. I don't want Kang to be like Kenny from South Park, where you just kill him in every new movie. You know, this is a new Kang. But that's where the other I guess I'm talking about both post-credit scenes right now. Here we are, but the post-credit scene where it's Loki and Owen Wilson from the Loki series. And there's this scientist who's there. Owen Wilson's like, what? You made him sound like some big scary guy. He's not scary. What are you talking about? I don't even feel the need to say the word wow. So I proceed assuming that that scientist Kang is the guy that we just saw. It's just the early years of him, which makes me think, are we going to see the Kang from this movie in other movies, but it's before the events of Quantumania? Is he alive after the events of Quantumania? Did he just get sucked into the quantum realm's quantum realm? In a world where the quantum realm to us is smaller than atoms, but they're still drinking water, have sand, have light, because apparently there are photons that they're smaller than, so apparently they have their own molecular level and their own quantum realm. By implication, anyway. I mean, really, you could just go on forever with that. You could just keep going. But point is, Kang has been built up since the Loki series. We finally saw Kang, and since this is the first Kang we saw, and in my opinion, he crushed it, don't bring in new Kangs. That'll just be like, we're meeting Kang for the first time. I'll be met with that same feeling from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where it was Mordo. And I was like, oh great, Mordo's back. Oh no, this is a different Mordo from a different reality, not the Mordo from the first Doctor Strange movie that had all the setup. I felt like I'd never met this character before, so don't do that with Kang. But the funny thing is when Scott Lang was like, I'm an Avenger, he was like, it all gets confusing after I've killed you that many times. Are you the one with the hammer? At first I was like, shit, does he kill Thor? But it does say, I mean, he takes out different realities and different multiverses. So there are realities and multiverses where the Avengers have tried to stop this guy and he has killed them. Which brings me to my point, friends. Might need a little help on this one. Don't worry, it's a good thing. I don't just do the YouTuber thing and drink to deal. I also drink to celebrate. Cheers. I always found it so stupid that Thor in Thor Love and Thunder, I know I'm bringing up Love and Thunder again. Another drink for thinking about it. But it always bothered me because I am a lover of the original Thor movie. I love the first Thor movie. I know some out there might be like, he just said what now? Opinion is invalid. I don't care. Thor learned so many lessons in that first Thor movie about collateral damage, responsibility. It was a coming of age story. Then in Love and Thunder, it's like he forgot all of it. That's because Thor Love and Thunder is actually one of the variant timelines. The Thor in Thor Love and Thunder is not the Thor from the first Thor movie. And Thor from Thor Love and Thunder is the Thor that Kang has killed. Not the Thor from the first Thor movie and the Avengers. It's not actually factual, but you cannot take that away from my headcanon. It's real to me. God, I got this far in this video without even talking about MODOK. Now I'm drinking to forget. MODOK was shit in this movie. He's actually the embodiment. You know when I say, I start bitching, I bring my old man energy to the room. I start bitching about people being quippy, and characters are quippy that shouldn't be quippy. MODOK is the embodiment of that. Because MODOK should have a MODOK voice. Maybe I'm just used to MODOK having a MODOK voice. But this MODOK was just like, yeah, hey Scott, what's up? So, remember me? It's like a Family Guy character or something. Also, they changed him to be the guy from the first Ant-Man movie. Yellow Jacket. Darren. That's his name. But his face was so shit, which is a bummer because the rest of the movie, just in terms of landscape, looked pretty good. I thought it looked great, actually. MODOK's head looked like it was in the wrong aspect ratio. He's like, hey, Scott, what's up? It's me. It's everyone's favorite dickhead. I was like, this can't have been the final product. But I'm in a movie theater. It is. And that's a big change they made with MODOK. He wasn't Darren. He's not... They made him a different character. And it felt wrong. Again, not a MODOK super fan, but I can at least recognize and appreciate when they completely fuck up a character. He felt like the MODOK version of Deadpool in X-Men Origins Wolverine, or Taskmaster in the Black Widow movie. Just these characters are the characters in name. But these moments in the MCU show me how there has been a decline in the MCU. The MCU used to be the thing where it's like, all right, we're making a real attempt at bringing the Avengers to the big screen. We're gonna do it the best we can. And now I'm comparing MCU villains to characters from pre-MCU, like characters from X-Men Origins Wolverine. But there is definitely an ever-growing sense of inconsistency in terms of the product the MCU is churning out to us. In the movies we get, yes, but also the inconsistency in the on-screen universe. They've gone from dramas that have comedy with a comedic character to comedies that might have a dramatic moment that's compromised by comedy, and everybody sounds the same. Everyone's written to have the same kind of dialogue and quippy one-liners that cut the tension all the time. There's no distinguishable difference. There's no character that does that. That's probably why they don't have Michael Pena in this movie. He used to be the comedic relief character. Now it's like, well, everyone's comedy relief. We don't need a comedy relief character. One for Michael Pena. But also in terms of the earned journey of the characters, you know, an entire act was dedicated to showing how one of the great weapon engineers and minds of our time could make a new weapon when faced with the scenario of a life and death 2-week deadline. Also opportunity and wit. And there we go, an entire act dedicated to him making this new machine that would basically be the armor of his redemption arc. Now we have college students that can make Iron Man tech and quantum devices in their garages. It just doesn't feel special at this point. No matter how big the last act is, no matter how much shit you have going on, the big throwdown at the end, you have to care. And Scott Lang almost made me care. But I was rooting for Kang. I don't know what to say. I guess he was the character that was given the most, an actor that did the most. All right, so Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? I can ask you that now. Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.